Imagine plunging your bare arm into a bucket of freezing ice water, but feeling absolutely zero pain, no drugs, no numbing agents, just your own mind turning off the pain receptors.
Yeah, it sounds like magic, but it's actually a clinically documented state of consciousness.
Right, and today we're doing a deep dive into how you can intentionally alter your reality like hacking your brain's processing without relying on substances or sleep.
Exactly. And to get into the exact mechanics of this, we'll be looking at section 4.6 of chapter 4 from Psychology 2E.
Okay, so since we're dealing with textbook clinical science here, how about you put on your lecturer hat today, and I'll play the inquisitive student.
I love it. Deal. So let's start with hypnosis.
Consider my notebook open. I mean, I know we're way past the old theatrical stage tricks here, the swinging pocket watch stuff. We're talking about an empirically based therapeutic approach.
Right, exactly.
But as a student, I really need to understand the physical mechanism. Like, how do clinicians actually induce a state where someone can just ignore freezing water?
Well, it basically comes down to hacking the brain's sensory processing. There are 4 consistent steps outlined in section 4.6. First, you focus on a specific target, then you relax. Third is building trust, and finally, engaging the imagination.
Okay, focus, relax, trust, imagine. But why does that work?
That's the fascinating part. By forcing you to hyper-focus on one small thing, like a rhythmic sound or a specific phrase, the clinician essentially overloads your immediate sensory input.
So your brain just kind of gives up.
Basically, yeah. Your critical questioning brain gets bored or overwhelmed and just powers down, leaving you highly suggestible.
Wow, the critical brain dropped its guard. So when that happens, what's actually going on in the mind? Is consciousness like splitting?
That's actually one of the leading ideas. It's known as the dissociation view. It argues that hypnosis creates a genuinely disconnected state of consciousness.
Disconnected how?
Well, Ernest Hilgard demonstrated this with that exact ice water experiment you mentioned earlier. He induced participants, put their arms in ice, and told them they wouldn't feel pain.
But they were in freezing water.
Right. But he added that they could press a button if they did feel pain. And they verbally reported zero pain, yet their hands unconsciously pushed the button.
Wait, really? Their consciousness literally split into 2 streams.
Exactly.
So one stream was feeling the freezing water, and the other was totally oblivious. That actually reminds me of highway hypnosis.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
When you're driving home on complete autopilot, just totally lost in thought, and suddenly you're in your driveway. You navigated traffic and made all the turns, but your conscious mind was entirely elsewhere.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The automatic systems are running the show while your conscious awareness is totally detached. But there is a completely different way to interpret Hilgard's results.
Oh, there's a counter theory.
Yeah, it's called the social cognitive theory. And this theory argues that there is no altered or split state at all.
Wait, if they are in an altered state, how on earth are they ignoring freezing water?
Because of the immense power of social expectations.
Social expectations block out pain.
I mean, this theory suggests participants are simply fulfilling the expected role of a hypnotized person. Think about how your personality instinctively snaps into a different mode when you're talking to your boss versus, say, your best friend.
Oh, right. You act completely differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You aren't faking it, right?
Yeah.
Your brain just adopts the required role. So hypnosis might just be the ultimate extreme version of that psychological shift.
Wow. If the brain can snap into a pain-free role just because it thinks it's supposed to, that is incredibly powerful.
It really is.
But if hypnosis relies on, surrendering your attention to a guide or a social expectation, meditation seems to flip that script entirely. It's about wresting back control of your own attention.
That's the core distinction, yeah. Hypnosis requires that external guide, but meditation is a solo endeavor.
So you're doing it all yourself.
Right. We're still focusing on a single target, like your breath or a repeated sound. But the goal isn't suggestibility. It's to achieve a state of relaxed, hyper-present awareness.
Got it. And what's the physiological payoff for the listener, putting this into practice? How does controlling our attention actually change the body?
Well, by maintaining that relaxed awareness, you actively suppress the sympathetic nervous system. That's your body's fight or flight response.
Which we're all stuck in way too often.
Exactly. And the textbook notes this has measurable, proven links to improved sleep and stress management. The American Heart Association even points to it as a viable tool for managing hypertension.
Wait, so it physically reduces blood pressure?
Yeah, it does.
It's wild that simply shifting where we point our attention can act as a literal medication for the body. I mean, both of these practices prove Our states of consciousness are incredibly flexible.
And entirely within our control to harness. That flexibility really opens the door to some profound implications about how we experience the world every single day.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. If that social cognitive theory of hypnosis is accurate, if our minds are powerful enough to literally alter our physical reality and block out pain just to fit an expected social role, how much of your normal waking life is just you unconsciously performing a role?